What you continue to tolerate, you're saying you're okay with. You're saying this is fine. It doesn't bother me that much. Or maybe it bothers you, but not enough to take action. Possibly you're scared, or there's some type of fear, or whatever it is that keeps you feeling stuck. But the longer that you stay tolerating things that are not serving you, are not producing fruit, the longer it's going to take you to get to where you want to be. We're all trying to get somewhere. It's like even the people that say, well, slow living, you're still working towards something, because everything that's alive develops. It has a desire to grow, has a desire to develop. Trees and flowers and animals, people, we all want to grow and develop. And we're all going to. You're not really ever staying the same because time passes. So and essentially, if you're not developing or sharpening your skills, or leveling up, as I like to call it, getting to that next level in whatever area, you're kind of going behind, because you're deteriorating. Because if you don't utilize those muscles, or the mental capacity that you have, sharpening your mind, sharpening your skills, you lose it. And this is why a lot of people, when they retire, they go downhill really fast, because there's no purpose. Even the Bible says, without vision, my people, they perish. There's no purpose pulling them forward. So you always have to have something that's making you push to the next level, a challenge perhaps, or something that's excitement, or it's not necessarily always have to be excitement. It could be just, going out and getting up early to go to the gym is not really exciting, but you're developing something to better yourself in an area. So you can't just stop after you got out of high school and college or whatever, and then you're like, well, I've already arrived. There has to be other areas of growth. And so if you stop tolerating the things that are getting in the way of that, like the nonsense, there's so much nonsense, that I'm so grateful that I'm learning this now in my early 40s, because I know people who are living their whole life wrapped up in drama and nonsense. I mean, talk about family drama, family nonsense, family BS that's just over consuming, and everybody arguing, and everybody trying to get their point across, and everyone wants to be right, and all of this noise and this drama that just keeps you kind of stuck in, if you ever seen those old cartoons where like the Wile E. Coyote, they're fighting and there's all like that smoke around, and it's like bang, 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 bang. You're like stuck in this smoky tornado of chaos. But you're tolerating it because you're engaging in it. And as soon as you say, I'm not going to tolerate this anymore. Now, I'm not talking about you trying to get the people to change, because you're not going to change them. They have to wake up on their own, just like you have to wake up on your own. But as soon as you say, I'm not tolerating this, and you physically step out of that, you get out of the family gossip, you get out of the being involved in ridiculous things that are not producing. It's like you're running a race that's going nowhere, trying to get somewhere, to prove a point to people that have really nothing to do with your immediate life. You're trying to win somebody over, or get somebody's approval, or whatever the case is. You're just wasting your time. Because I was sitting here thinking today and talking to my son, I'm like, man, a year's gone by really fast. And he was asking me, like, why is time going by so fast? Even a teenager or young teen notices that things they're moving fast. Like, time is quickly coming up on you. It's like on the heels. You're like, whoa, here we are again. It's June again, halfway through the year. What have I done? And so I'm not saying this to make anybody worry and be like, oh, I'm so far behind. You don't want to feel like you're so far behind in things, but you do want to put things in the proper order. And the best way to put things in order are process of elimination. Before you start setting all these goals and all these things that you want to do, put things in the proper order by removing the things that are no longer serving, right? Backing out of situations that are just not going anywhere. There's no visible fruit. There's nothing happening. You're spinning your wheels. You're like, I'm so stuck. Just shift a little bit. Shift into something that's going to produce. So as soon as you stop tolerating those things, and you tell that person, you know what, I'm just not going to tolerate, I'm not interested in being involved in this mess, or I'm not interested in being involved with this drama, or this problem, or this whatever it is that I can't do anything about. They're probably going to get mad at you and tell you, oh, you think you're so much better than me, and you think you're better than us, and oh, now you're, because you're not a part of their group or whatever. But that will fade after a while and they'll get over it. So just don't even worry about that. Let them fight amongst themselves about how bad you are and how mean that was and how guilty you should feel. I mean, I was called all kinds of things when I finally put up boundaries in my life with people that were in my family. I mean, I was like, so many things. How can you do that? You are so mean. What kind of, daughter, sister, person, cousin are you for, not being involved? I don't want to be involved. And it wasn't until they got older that they realized, oh, that was actually a pretty wise move. And now they want to do it because everything's the same. 10 years later, they're doing the same thing. The time passes. So they're not going to want to change. You're not going to make them change. They're going to be doing the same thing anyways, whether you're there involved in it or not, whether you are putting your 2 cents in or thinking, oh, they're going to take my advice. No, they're probably not going to take your advice. They're probably going to continue doing whatever they want to do because it's so deeply ingrained in them. It's like, how do you teach an old dog new tricks? You really don't. They have to hit a point for themselves where they're willing to change and they're willing to change their behavior and do something different. But just because you see that they need it doesn't mean they want it. So focus on what you have to do and focus on what God has placed in front of you to steward properly. There's a lot of areas in my life that I realized I didn't steward properly. But there's a lot of areas that I did and I learned quickly. And when you learn quickly and you turn from what you're messing up on and you quickly correct that, it's like, okay, now we're moving somewhere because you're correcting your own bad behavior, and God will He will use that to demonstrate in front of the people that are mocking you or talking against you. He'll use that demonstration for your benefit, and so you won't even have to worry. He's going to fight those battles for you anyways. So don't get stuck and caught up in all of that. Just keep moving forward. But if you're tolerating things and you're like, well, I'm going to continue eating like I'm doing and I'm not seeing any results in my life, but I'm going to keep spending like I'm doing and I'm going to keep thrifting like I'm doing and I'm going to keep watching the same stuff and doing the same thing, and you keep doing, then you're going to continue to get all of those same results. So you have to see, what are you kind of like, you're being like rocked to sleep in life by just going through these motions and thinking that you're making progress. So many times we think we're making progress because we're busy, we're doing something, but you're not really making any progress. It's like moving things around in your house. You're like, oh yeah, I just spent all day shifting things around. Now, if you're doing a refresh and there's a purpose behind it for cleaning after spring to get ready for summer, or cleaning after fall to get prepared for Christmas, that's different. But if you're just spending your time moving one thing somewhere else or organizing things from one bin to the other, one closet to the other, then you're tricking yourself thinking that you're making progress. You're making, I'm being so productive today. You're really not. You're not being productive. You're just moving things from one room to the next and one drawer from the next and finding a new place to shove it in. This is why the process of elimination is so important in all areas. Removing the excess first, removing the subscriptions you're not moving, removing the leaks. It's the little leaks, it's the little things that add up. It's the little moves, the little calories, it's always like that in life. The little things turn into big problems when you continue to tolerate them or allow them day after day. I found that the action actually creates more motivation instead of waiting to feel motivated to do something. Once I start taking action in that area, it starts helping me to, like, I'm more motivated. I'm like, man, I'm on a roll. I'm building momentum, And so that's why Dave Ramsey calls it the baby steps when you're working on paying off your debt, but you can start using the baby steps in your home when you're decluttering. You can use the baby steps when it comes to, limiting what you're eating, or what you're, limiting sauces to start. It doesn't have to be big and drastic. It could be those little things that are adding up. When it comes to all of the subscriptions or all of the things, maybe limit one, cancel one, and then cancel another one. So you're building the momentum and the motivation as you are taking more and more action in the direction you want to go. This is how you're going to accomplish so much more in like 90 days as opposed to having it take a year. What used to take me a year to accomplish, I can now do in a month because I know exactly what steps to take and I'm so focused on that. Now, not always, because it depends. Life happens and things happen within that month, but man, I spent so much time on ridiculous arguments when I had a Facebook account 10, 11 years ago, arguing with people, debating with people, literally staying up at night, going to bed arguing with somebody that I didn't know or an old friend in another state, and then waking up to see, oh, what did they write me? And now I'm going to hit them back, and I'm going to, like, I wanted to punch myself and be like, you're a freaking idiot. What are you doing, wasting your time? And my kids were little, and here I am involved in something so stupid, thinking, yeah, I'm winning. I'm sure telling them, you know, my view on politics, and I'm going to sure show them. And you're just going back and forth. It's the dumbest thing. Same thing with family drama. Same thing with text wars, you know, sending a big long text message and then see what they're going to say back, or, you know, all this stuff. And when I finally snapped out of it and thought, you know what, I need to remove myself and put up boundaries and not be involved and not, you can love, here's a big misconception. People think that, number one, oh, we're supposed to honor our parents. Yes, you can honor the position that your parents are in without honoring their behavior. That, right? That's totally fine. You can honor the president without honoring his behavior, just for the position that he's in. You can honor the police officer even if they're not perfect. So it's different. You don't have to agree with everything that they're doing. And just because you have you love somebody and you forgive them doesn't mean you have to be in relation with them or have a relationship with them. That's totally different. Jesus walked away from many people. People are like, well, he was a friend of sinners. Yeah, but he didn't go sit down and wallow in their sin. He reached down to pull them up and out of sin. And if they didn't want to, he left them and walked away. They didn't stay that way. Well, if they didn't want to stay that, you get what I'm saying. He's not going to hang out and be a part of the drama and the chaos if they're not willing to change. He would walk away if they didn't want to come with or turn from their ways. That's exactly what you do with the dysfunction in family or friends. If they're not willing to, you don't spend your life trying to change somebody, is what I'm saying. And just because it's a family member or friend, you know, relative, doesn't mean you have to honor every single thing. You can honor them by backing off and by doing your own thing. And there's definitely no shame in that. In fact, it's healthy to have those type of boundaries. And putting things in order in life is going to allow more opportunities and wealth to flow to you and through you. If your life is not in order and it's so chaotic and dysfunctional and like tying up loose ends, having healthy boundaries, being focused, knowing your roles, if you're a wife or a husband or a mom, you know, to young children at home, though, that's your role. Like for me, my role is, first, I'm a daughter of the Lord, right? I'm a wife and I'm a mom with kids at home. So the home is my domain. My family is my domain. My extended families, that's not my domain. That's not my, I don't need to show up to all of their birthday parties. I don't need to be obligated to ship them things. I don't need to be involved in all of their day-to-day lives or what they're doing. It's letting go of the nonsense so you can think clear, live clear, and this is how you're going to accomplish so much more. And when it comes down to getting rid of things that somebody gave you that was a family friend or a relative or whatever, a lot of people feel guilty. They don't want to get rid of things that somebody gave them even though they don't like them. Well, when you give, when they gave it to you, it's yours to do what you want to do with. So if it's something that you don't really love, it's something that you don't really, you know, oh, it's getting windy, that you don't really want to keep, or it's not your style or whatever, but you feel bad. Well, when they gifted it, they essentially, you know, it's out of their hands. They let it go. What I'm saying is just don't get so stuck on like all of these things, what people think, needing the approval. If it's going to bother something, they're going to be mad. Somebody's going to be mad along the way, no matter what. You're not going to make everybody happy. Somebody's going to be disappointed or mad. The best thing that you can do is just be so locked into what God has for you that it doesn't even matter. And you're like, you know what? It's not aligned with where I am in life right now, and so therefore I'm not going to be involved in it. And that's okay to do. Take the seasons that you need to get your life in order. Take the time you need to get things in order. Back up if you need to. Like I always tell people, if you're not willing to sacrifice for a year, I'm talking like you want to shift your whole life, and you need to get things in order, are you willing to move to a smaller place? Are you willing to stop hanging out with those friends? Are you willing to give up alcohol? Are you willing to cancel your Netflix? Are you willing to find a friend that sharpens you and pushes you to get better? Are you willing to shift your sleep schedule to wake up early and go to bed at a decent time? If you're not willing to make these difficult changes, then you're not going to have the fruits from all of that, because those things take conscious effort to change and to do. It's so much easier to do nothing. So those things, sometimes we need the people around us that are going to say, yeah, go get it, go do that, get up, you're going to feel so much better, you're going to accomplish so much more. They're rooting for you. Get around people that are going to root for you. And if there are none, do it anyways, because God's rooting for you and I'm rooting for you. There's a life to live, there's a glorious future, and you can pull the future into the present by the actions that you take today. The future doesn't always have to be so far out there, like, oh, it's years down the road I'm going to have that. It could be right now. It could be in a week, a month, 2 weeks, depending on how quickly you move into action and how you pull that future into the present by the actions that you take, the decisions that you make. Because you're always living in the residual of the decisions that you made months ago. You're paying off debt that you charged over Christmas. You're probably paying off your debt from Christmas 6 months ago. Now you're still paying it. You know, so the decisions that you made then, you're paying now. So the key is to reverse that and to make decisions that the 6 months, the you in 6 months is going to love. The you in 6 months is going to, Joyce Meyer used to say, wisdom is making decisions now that you'll be satisfied with later. And that always stuck with me. Even though all of my decisions haven't been great, sometimes I'm not satisfied with the decision later and I'm like, oh, but make a decision, get clarity, get order, declutter your life, focus on what you need to do, cut the nonsense, cut the BS, cut the chaos, the drama, and run your race.